Good evening. Hello, hello. Uh, we have Joe, who was a massive keener. I saw, I saw you at like 10 to 8. I love the fact that you're so keen. And we have Ida, think so. You're at work. Am I tucked in your pocket? Am I tucked in your pocket and you're listening? How are we all? How's our week been? We made it to Friday. Um, Yes, hello. Can you hear me okay? I didn't get a chance to test my microphone. It's all been a bit of a rush. Um, uh, 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 uh. Yay for feeling very well. That is excellent. I am so pleased. I am so pleased you're doing so well. Um, yeah, that's fantastic. It's been a day. I don't know whether anyone else has had a bit of a day. Today has just disappeared. Ida thinks so, showing some love. Is it the correct way? Because for me, like hob. Oh no, it is. It is the right way. It is the right way. Yay! I'm trying the camera the other way around. Oh, we have a Steve. You always know that things are going to go well when Steve gets into the chat. Things are going to get a little bit surreal. If anyone new is watching, my name is Andy and this is Craftalytical. We have an amazing community here. Hey, Yvonne. It may get a little bit surreal. Some of the community have a surrealist sense of humor, and I'm here for it. Honestly, I'm absolutely here for it. This week has just disappeared on me. How did it get to Friday? I mean, that's good in a way, right? But I am so sorry your signal sucks, Ida. That's really, really rubbish. Just a little bit of housekeeping. I have started a podcast. It's a bit of a leap, to say the least. It's a bit of a wild journey. Don't know whether I'm any good at it. I have been told that I have a face for radio, so maybe it works. You can find the details. Oh, Stream Elements has finally woken up. Hello, Stream Elements. So the podcast is on Spotify, which seems really weird. It was weird enough stepping up to YouTube, but for some reason, like Spotify feels like a bigger step. And I'm not quite sure. So, the nice thing about Spotify is they have subscriptions. So for $2.99 a month, you can get some exclusive content, Q&As, and even suggest topics for me to research and cover. It's going to be a bit like this channel where we talk about, or I talk about, social psychology, but more of a deep dive into kind of weird and wonderful things, because I want to talk about aliens and conspiracy theories and legends. So it'll be a bit of everything, but talking about what we can learn from those things, why we react the way we do. I'm an avid podcast listener. I binge podcasts. I listen to them as I go to sleep at night. And because I don't sleep much, I listen to like 4 to 6 episodes overnight. Ooh, Auntie Giggles. Hello, my love. Did someone say weird and wonderful? I did. It's like saying Beetlejuice 3 times, but you just need to say it once for Auntie Giggles to arrive. That's fantastic. Let's see if I can do this one justice. Ooh. That's a bit more like the Doctor Who theme, isn't it? I'm sorry if that blasted anyone's ears off. We've got some more hellos. What are you saying? Oh my God, too. I don't know. Oh, I got it. I was going by how many O's there were in the U and how many E's in the E. Yeah, I mean, with podcasts, I listen to. There's a lot of there's one that I binged, absolutely binged, Strange and Unexplained with Daisy Egan, which was really good. Crimes of the Centuries. I cannot remember her name, but again, a brilliant podcast. And I'm listening at the moment to Cryptids of the Corn, and it's two guys. One was a marine biologist, but now they're essentially Bigfoot hunters. They do all of the cons, like Bigfoot Con and stuff like that. But they go to all of these cryptid cons, but they discuss all sorts of, it's not just Bigfoot, although they do a lot more episodes about Bigfoot. But they've, things like sky jellies, which I didn't realize was a thing, and I'm slightly upset. I would love to see a sky jelly. But yeah, they're really entertaining. They are really, really entertaining as a duo. Conspiracy theories was pretty good, but there were a lot of episodes in that I skipped because I just like, there's some conspiracy theories that you're just like, no, not even the introduction to this makes me think this is going to be interesting. I'm just going to pick this apart. It's a bit like watching Ancient Aliens, which again, I really like, only because I like to mock people and their strange theories. Like, some of them, they start off and you're like, I can kind of see where this is going. That's quite an interesting point. And then someone ruins it with some kind of white centric ancient people couldn't build stuff. So it led me to think, because the other thing is kiddo number 2 is absolutely obsessed with zombies at the moment, and there's a lot of zombie songs for kids on YouTube. And we have to do zombie makeup every day. And it got me thinking about binge watching and binge listening. So I wanted to get your input on it. Do you binge watch content here on YouTube? Are there channels that you cannot miss? Are there TV shows or podcasts, whatever? I really want to know what people are binge watching and why. Why do you binge watch stuff? Sorry, I'm having a little catch up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Was that me just wailing? Lots of hellos. It's really nice that you are all showing each other love and solidarity. We've just got surrealist chat going on now. Auntie Giggles and Steve together just derails everything. Which is fine. I can just talk to myself. It's what podcasting is, right? I'll just do a podcast and you guys talk over me. I'm okay with that. What does Yvonne say? Yeah, see, this is the problem. This is the problem I have. When I run out of a podcast or a show, I get really sad. And I hate waiting between seasons. Why do we have to wait? Why do we have to wait? By the same token, when they release a full season at once and you get to the end of it, you've then got like a 9-month wait or a 12-month wait or whatever until the next series comes out. And that's really depressing to me. We have a Loopy Miracle. Can we have some hearts in the chat for Loopy Miracle, please? Oh, oh. I love you and your caring, compassionate self too. You're amazing. See, this was the other point I was going to raise, because we all have those comfort shows that we go back to over and over. It's like going home. And for me, that's Bones, The West Wing, Voyager, Deep Space Nine. Don't shoot me, but I'm not really a next gen kind of girl. There's just a hair too much misogyny in it for me. And why does Riker have to lean, like he puts his foot up on whatever is close so that the woman he's talking to has to stare at his crotch while they're having a conversation? What is that all about? But yeah, like Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Bones, The West Wing, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I can watch that over and over. It's just it's so comforting. And that's something that I think is really, like, can we have a deep dive into that, please? Oh, have you got me on loudspeaker? Your co-worker says I have a soothing voice. That's really nice. That is very sweet. That helps with the podcast. Unless I'm too soothing and people fall asleep. We don't want that. We want interesting but soothing. We have some hearts for Loopy Miracle. We've got some more hellos, which is really nice. I love my community. I love you all. Love cryptids. Have you listened to Cryptids of the Corn then? Because they were recommended by another podcast that I adore, which is Weird Crap in Australia. It is absolutely brilliant. Matthew and Holly are just, well, I say Matthew and Holly. Holly is really, really thorough with her research, and I really enjoy their dynamic. Yeah, see, I would like to think that there's, there's two sides to me, right? There's a scientist that likes pure raw data, and then the other part of me that really wants to think fairies are real, and dragons and stuff. I really like the idea of min lights being something, mystical and real. I would love to see some of this. But yeah, Cryptids of the Corn, if you're into that kind of thing, takes a little bit of time to get used to Jay and Justin. But I actually really like them. Oh, I didn't realize it was going to be so long. Ugh, I hate the wait. Yeah, shout out to Stream Elements. I don't know whether Stream Elements is actually working. Actually doing its job. Lots of hearts. I love that. Yeah, replaying games has the same feeling. I'm replaying the original Diablo at the moment, and I am really enjoying it. I played the original Diablo all the way through, and now I'm playing Hellfire all the way through, and it's like coming home. Lots and lots of happy memories playing, because growing up, when we were old enough, my dad used to build computers. Just a quick to digress, and my brother and I had one in each of our rooms, and my dad had one in the study, and we would This is how old I am. We'd link up by LAN and play together, and we'd be yelling across the landing to each other from room to room, playing this game. It used to drive my mum nuts, which is kind of funny. Um, but we used to have so much fun. So it's kind of, it's like putting on a comfy pair of slippers. Um, Oh, do I have a new sub? Let's have a look. Um, oh, I'm so excited. I can't find the right thing. Come on, computer. I want to see the new sub. I have 85 subs here on YouTube, if that's what you were talking about. According to my dashboard. Um, doo, doo, doo. Um, Sorry, I'm just catching up. Let's have a look. Oh, sorry. Shows I can binge watch are Family Guy, yes. Futurama, yes. Yeah, and again, I really like Seth MacFarlane is very good at social commentary and pointing out the stupidness, the futility of uh kind of world leaders and politicians and stuff like that through characters like Peter Griffin. And I really love that. I love the clever social commentary that you get with Futurama as well. It's so well done. Mm. Last month we started watching the season of Suits. Since it's available on Netflix now, I think we're on season 3. Yeah, Suits is another one that is really very well done. I don't think they could have picked better actors for those parts. When your mum's huge TV is like being in the cinema. I don't know what to say to that. That feels a bit weird. I never thought of myself as being on TV, but I guess I kind of am. Without having any talent, I've just kind of fallen into it. Yeah, I got my 85th. Oh no, I was on 84 before I started. Yay, new sub. Welcome. Welcome to the crowd. Welcome to the cult. No, I definitely sorry, Steve, but we can't call you cult members. We still need a really good name for you all. Um Oh, well, please tell your coworker that they are very appreciated and we love them being here and thank you. Every sub is a hug. Every sub is a hug. Yep, 85. I can't believe it. 85 people have decided I am worth clicking that button for, and that's huge. Um Oh, in Suits, yeah. It is incredible, and, the character Lewis, you really wanna hate him. He is such a smarmy, horrible, mousy-faced character, but he plays it so well, and as you get to know him, you realize he is so damaged and so desperate for love, and I honestly don't think they could have picked a better actor for him. He just nails it. He absolutely nails it. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so glad you have a new TV. That is really lovely. Um, what have we got? Crafty's cryptids. You could be cryptids because you are all amazing mythical creatures to me. We have lots and lots. I don't know whether Loopy Miracle has accidentally. Is that lots and lots of Mr. Purvies? Because this. That should make 85. Oh, you are too funny and too kind. Thank you. Thank you. That is awesome. Mind blown. That's fantastic. Oh, honestly, hugs for subs. You will make me cry. Stop being lovely. I'm so chuffed with that. I really am. I really, really am. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee and stop getting all watery-eyed. Yeah. Like, how do you feel about binge watching? Because there's a guilt that goes along with it for me. It's even worse when on Netflix that box comes up. Are you still watching? Stop judging me as I'm sat there covered in biscuit crumbs. I just that box shames me. Oh, the back catalogue. So I've done that with putting on airs with Trey Crowder, which is hilarious, and you should absolutely go and watch it. It's him and a buddy talking about all sorts. Issues, honestly. Yeah, back to back. Putting on airs. That's what I was saying. Like that is totally worth doing, I think. Also, it helps YouTubers with views and likes. And the more you watch, like if you go back and watch a back catalogue of a YouTuber, that bumps it up the algorithm again. And that kind of thing. And as a way of helping YouTubers, podcasters, whoever, that is also really a really cool thing to do. We have lots more hugs or Mr. Pervy. Oh, yeah. It's a guilty pleasure for me. Oh, yes, please hit that thumbs up. That would be nice. It doesn't do anything for the algorithm, but it makes me feel better. Yeah, I think it is binge watching. I mean, I binge watch YouTube. My watch later list is around 100 videos at the moment, mainly because of the Trump news. Um, but I go through my oh, sorry. I go through my homepage and the suggested videos underneath the video when you're watching on mobile or cell phone. Um, and I add them to my watch later list. I spend way too long on YouTube, and that can be an addiction. A lot of my YouTube watching is research. Um, there's not a lot on there for, quote unquote pleasure other than Brickable Hours, and Zayden, if I've missed Zayden's stream. Um, which which is really sad, actually. I did break. Hopefully I'm back. Um Yeah, House is definitely up there. I love Hugh Laurie. Also, he's one of ours. Gotta support one of ours. He's so good in House because it is literally like House is the exact opposite of who he is in real life. Um, mm, it is the freezing curse. Who put the curse on me? Uh, slow motion. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Oh, make sure I'm nice and snug in your pocket. Um, um, oh, I can't even imagine what that's like on an older phone. Um, mm, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kind of ASMR type content here on YouTube, like the volcano and other stuff, and I don't see a problem with that. I think it's if it's relaxing and it's helping you. Um, oh, that kind of crossover it would just be brilliant, be genius. Um, yes, his cameo in Friends was brilliant. It really was. There is an episode of House where he's trying to get someone to do something, and he's making phone call after phone call after phone call. And because it's late at night in America, he puts on his usual accent and sounds like a bumbly English guy. And it's just hilarious. Um, absolutely brilliant. Um, Hugh is a weird word. Don't worry about it. It's a weird name. Um, there are some actors that I can watch in anything. There are some actors that are just Morgan Freeman, never seen a film with him in it that I have not loved. Um, you know, I there are some actors that I can binge watch as well. Anything that they're in, and I'm there. Um, it's like the guy who plays Raj Koothrappali in um uh Big Bang Theory. That's another one I can rewatch. Um, he was in an episode of Criminal on Netflix. There's basically there's a Criminal UK, Criminal Spain, Criminal somewhere else. And all it is, and David Tennant was also in it. And all it is them focusing on the interview with the suspect. Um and the chap who plays Raj, and David Tennant actually were both absolutely outstanding in that. Um, yeah, they really do. They do an amazing job. Yeah, Tom Hanks is really good in everything, and he's an amazingly nice guy. How can you not love Tom? Castaway is honestly one of my favourite films ever. Oh, Robin Williams, yes. I mean, some of the films that he did were very much of the time, and there are some jokes that we wouldn't make today. They weren't okay at the time either, really, but, it's like Aladdin. Iconic film, but there are some words in that I certainly don't let my kids hear. But Robin Williams was a genuine guy, and I feel absolutely awful for him that his depression became fatal. It was a life-threatening disease for him. At what point does binge watching become addictive or become an addiction? Where's that line? I mean, obviously, it's gonna be different for everyone, but, you know, do you think it's a problem, binge watching, binge listening? Or do you think that as long as it's not interfering with your life, it's fine? Your responsibilities, job, whatever. Sorry, my coffee's going cold, so I wanna pan it. Am I still live? Is anyone out there? Don't leave me. I don't think Stream Elements is are you all seeing Stream Elements saying stuff to you? Because it's not showing up on my thing. Which is a shame. So I'm gonna pop some links in the chat. Oh, maybe I'm gonna go slow again. Oh, apparently there's an error on YouTube. That's sad. It tells me to wait a minute and try again. Maybe the chatbot has binned me out. Oh, is something happening? If you can hear me, I'm turning off my camera so that I can check my phone and see if that's one of you sending me a message to let me know something's gone horribly wrong. I'm apparently there's apparently a problem with YouTube. For whatever reason, it is ever erroring people out. So I don't know what's happening. Yeah. Sorry, just putting my camera back on. There we go. I am really sorry about the error with YouTube. It's saying an error occurred on YouTube. This is usually temporary. Please wait a minute. So, yeah, it appears to be a YouTube-related issue, which is a pain in the bum. YouTube. So I really apologise about that. I I guess I'm gonna talk to myself and hope that it clears up. That really sucks. 'Cause, like, without you guys, I'm nothing. I've got nothing. You guys make me what I am. Um, yeah, the links I was going to drop in the chat are things like how to connect on social media, where to find my podcast, if yes, you are back. I see you. Um, yeah, if you can afford to and you want to support my work, you can send a tip. I really need to talk to Zayden about and try and, get his input on why my chatbot isn't doing this automatically. Like it's on. Don't know. Who knows? Yeah, I don't think it's me. And let's see if this one works. This is where you can find nope, not that one. Sorry. Consummate professional over here. Got no clue what I'm doing. And this is where you can find my podcast. I don't have a custom URL yet, but that's where you can find me. Do have a listen. Click the follow button, rate and review. I won't be offended if you give me no stars, but all of that stuff really, really helps. Learning the algorithm with Spotify, it's so different. It's based on listens and reviews, so it's a bit like views here matter, but over there it's a little bit different. Your comment is too. Have we missed the boat? Was there a funny? I was asking how much watching is too much watching, if that sets you up again. Okay. How do I do that? How do I turn it back on? Because honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. See, what I need is to get rich enough to support myself and hire someone who can do this shit for me. I don't know what I'm doing. I also I need a theme tune and logos and stuff, and I have no idea how I go about doing any of that either. So basically, I just appear. There's no dance party like with Zayden. See, I think that's part of the charm of a lot of independent small YouTubers is those fun things that they do. It's just Yeah, absolutely. And during the pandemic as well, like being able to binge watch a series really really helped with the boredom. Like it is a lifeline when you're not well, when you're in bed recovering from something, when you're isolated for whatever reason, it is a lifeline. It absolutely is. And YouTube was something that I started watching it for the Johnny Depp trial. Um, but again, YouTube has been a lifeline for me. It's allowed me to find you and start this and everything else. I know we talk about social media, and YouTube is social media as well. Um, being destructive, but actually when it's used right, it can bring people together. Um, yes. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Um, if you're calling in sick to work to finish a series and start a new one, possibly time to put down the remote control or your phone, really. Um, only if it interrupts your life. You should be able to do the things you like without shame or guilt. Yeah, I agree. And actually, I think it's self-care. I think, sinking in, especially into a series that you've watched before that is comforting to you, it is part of self-care, isn't it? Taking that time to go back, and it's like visiting old friends, you know? And the thing is, with our mental health, the reason people with mental health issues or physical health issues go back to rewatch series is because we know how it turns out. We know it's safe because we know what the end is. Even when you've got an episode that is heartbreaking or scary or whatever else, you know everything's going to be okay. Um, and I think that's a big part of it for me, at least. Um, I'm so glad I'm not alone, Loopy Miracle. I am so glad. Um, uh, when you want to do more and you're almost forced to just binge watch until you feel better. Yeah. Um, I think people who are well forget that these things are lifelines. Um, Yeah. I mean, I do that with podcasts overnight. If I do manage to fall asleep, it will carry on running while I'm sleeping, and I'll go back to where I remember being, so that I can carry on watching. Um, that's actually a really good point. Um, there's been a few shows that I've not watched as they came out. So West Wing and Battlestar Galactica, I can go back and watch. The new one, or new-ish one. Um, and I didn't start watching either of those when they first came out. So being able to, like back in the day, buy a box set and watch it, excuse me, that was a real treat. And then I knew what people were talking about. Sorry if I trampled on your point there, Loopy. Um, Loopy Miracle's blue text name is overshadowing some of my comments. Have I missed some of your comments? I am so sorry. That's me. That's not Loopy Miracle. That's me missing comments on my list. Um, Uh, yep, I did miss this one. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use an intro on my standard videos, but kind of just before going live, or a little short jingle at the beginning of my podcast. Um, you were piggybacking on the YouTube thing at one point. Explain, please. Um, oh no, on my chat box on StreamYard, it doesn't show kind of differentiate with mods. By the way, I have mods now. I feel like I've made it, and I've dropped off to like 2 viewers. What happened there? Where did everybody go? I'm hoping it's because YouTube have fouled up rather than people are bored of me. I really do apologize. I am so sorry if I missed some. What other comments did I miss? Got that one. Got that one. I'm not sure whether it's whether it's a YouTube thing, because I don't think I've missed any of your comments. I'm sorry if I have. Yeah, so we've got Yvonne and Steve. Yeah, for some reason, Stream Elements is saying that I've only got 2 people on stream. So there's definitely a hiccup. I'm blaming YouTube. It's not me. I'm blaming YouTube. I would blame Hob, but he gets arsey and steals things. When I said I was piggybacking on the YouTube thing, I was talking about how we are trying to figure out to get right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if anyone out there wants to help us out, as donate your time to helping us all get logos and things, that would be aces. We'd really appreciate that. And community sourced creativity is always really great. I don't know what that was. That's kind of a mixing pot of the community, I think. Hob is very, oh no, that side. Hob is very judgmental. I mean, he's lovely, but he doesn't hold back. I love Hob. I really do love Hob. Yeah, see, I would openly blame YouTube, but I don't want to get shadow banned. That's not a thing that happens. So anyone complaining about it, that's not what it is. So yeah. So with all of that viewing, because we've got some interesting choices and some very varied choices, which is what I expected. because although there's crossover with what we all hopefully I'm back. Um, uh, we're such an eclectic community, and there's crossover. We all love the Gorsh games. We are all a bit nerdy. Um, Most of us watch kind of law tube and legal stuff. Some of us follow politics and talk about that. So it's a really eclectic group. But we've got, Handmaid's Tale. I think I'm the only one who's mentioned geeky stuff. Is that just me? We've got cryptids. Why that? I don't know why it took me by surprise, Steve, that you listen to Cryptids of the Corn as well, because it's just it's surrealism, isn't it? At its finest point. So what kind of deep dives would you listen to on YouTube or as a podcast? Because I am really interested in that, in what kind of stuff as a community we would binge watch. Blame who? Blame you? No, blame YouTube. I don't want to know what slapped ham is. That sounds like an English euphemism that should be added to Mad Libs over on Gorsh Games. But yeah, Cryptids of the Corn, I can thoroughly recommend because they are also really funny. It's like you've got one guy that has like this marine biology degree that he leans on and everything else, and then you've got this other guy who isn't quite as informed. Like he's still intelligent, but he's not quite as informed. And he has a very dry sense of humor. I think you'd really enjoy him. I do think that binge watching is kind of changing shows. Like we used to have to wait a week to see the next episode, but now it seems like new episodes are coming out every couple of days. Yeah. I mean, the way we consume creativity in general has changed. We all used to sit down and read books, and now we've got audiobooks. We used to have to wait 9 months for the new season to come out, and then there'd be an episode a week. And it was a thing, wasn't it? We'd get together as a family or a group of friends and watch the next episode. And things have changed, but you've still got things like watch parties, and streaming services and stuff like that. But I think the way we consume creativity has changed, and the way it's filmed as well, the fast-paced dynamic of it is pretty impressive. When you think about Friends or Big Bang Theory or something like that, they had 6 days to get the script, prop it, do anything to the sets that they needed to do, get costuming done, rehearse or do a table read, rehearse, and then get it recorded in front of a live studio audience. And that is so quick as a turnaround. And Battlestar Galactica, Katie Sackhoff has a podcast here on YouTube, by the way. So do look out for that because it's really very good. But yeah, she said they were filming like 18 hours a day, and they had 8 days to shoot a full episode. And when you think about all of the special effects and the fight scenes and all of the different locations that appear in one episode, very, very impressive. Stargate was another one that was fast-paced when it was filmed. See, again, that doesn't clarify things for me. That could be anything. Ah, well, that makes more sense. Um, that does make more sense. Cryptids of the Corn is on YouTube as well, by the way. Um, I like ghost stories. I really do. Do you think I think this is a valid point, and I think for some people that's true. And also, I mean, we live in such a busy period in history in terms of work hours and downtime and what's expected of us, and the patriarchy ruined everything for everyone with work weeks and whatever else. And roles, what we are meant to do as working people, or stay at home parents, or whatever else. um and I think we have so little personal time, that binge watching fits into that rather than the other way round. um but it is an interesting point. How much of it is our short attention span now, um, compared to busy life? Um, oh, did I miss a stay? What you didn't? What, this one? You didn't see the cryptids, gossip, and aliens comment. Um, you worked at Spooky World. That's amazing. I don't know what that is, but I kind of want it in my life. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, reality TV has never been a thing for me. It's always felt hammed up. And of course, when you learn just how scripted these things are, it kind of loses the attraction. Um, oh, okay. Uh, I think they can, because they would still be able to join SAG, or, well, any of the acting unions, because they are actors. Uh, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. One of the LARP games that we used to run was called Folk, which is actually where Hob it's really confusing me having the camera around the right way, where Hob comes from. And we used to love scaring people, because most of the time you can scare people with their own minds. Um, uh, yeah, yeah, reality TV, like, it's car crash cringe for me. I cannot watch that at all. Although, having said that, I am quite invested in America season 4. Um, is it season 4? No, where are we now? It started in 2016, so America season 7. I'm quite invested in that. Politics is my reality TV. which is awful to say, and I'm so sorry. Um, yeah, I really like this. I feel like I need more information and photographs and video. Um, uh, yeah, 50-50 with how busy lives are and how, the need to have things right now. Um, and I think again, kind of the need to have things right now is again fitting into our busy lives. We get so little downtime, so little time to just arts and to escape a little bit. And that's what binge watching is. It's being able to escape into another world, a comfortable world, or a world where we learn something or whatever else. And I think, you know, we have so little time to fit that in that when we do, being able to fit in 3 or 4 episodes, um, for me, the problem is kind of one more episode and then I'll go to sleep. That catches me every time. It's a bit like when I'm doing, um, fiber arts, one more row and I'll put it down, one more row and I'll just get to the end of this bit. I'm terrible for it. I was an undead pirate. That is amazing. So sang sea shanties from Assassin's Creed, and I'd climb along the wooden shelves and turn the lights on and off. That is amazing. That is really, really cool. I like that. I like that a lot. And who doesn't love pirates and the undead? Um, I've seen a few comments recently on YouTube videos where people have said, "Oh, young people don't have any attention span. They're just, 1-minute videos and they're done." It's to do with YouTube Shorts. And I don't like blaming the next generation for having a short attention span. When we're talking about, it's people who were parents in the 80s and literally couldn't be bothered with their kids and sent us out to play for, hours, be home by dinner time, don't care where you go. I'm prepping for a podcast and I got out a bunch of photographs to have a look through, and there's some real 80s parenting going on in some of those photographs. And I know I had a slightly spicy childhood, but my parents, gave us a bit more of a crap than other parents did. But you look at that and kind of go, your attention span for your children was so short. You kicked us out of the house very early in the morning and told us not to come back until dinner time. And you're saying that the youth of today have no attention span. Um, you know, let's let's get some perspective. Um, uh, uh, it's weird because it feels like the family unit is getting strained because we don't have the time, regardless of it's because of work or our choices. We don't want to have that connection. I think it's always been that way. Like, I know I am very different with my kids than my parents were with me. I'm a little bit overprotective of my kids. I hate them leaving the house. It's mainly because I hate leaving the house. I have agoraphobia, and it scares me, them leaving the house. Um, but, um, but yeah, like, I certainly have very different approach with my kids. Um, we're a lot more hands-on. We're a lot more, We spent up like the other half was in with the oldest having a tea party today. Like, she set it up. There's a little stool, and that's got all of the tea equipment on it, and then she set up her teddies, and she had pillows for all of them to sit on, and one for the other half to sit on. Like, I think it depends on the parent, and it's also perception, um, perception versus reality. Because I'm sure to my neighbours it sounds like I do nothing but yell at my kids. Um But, I have a 5-year-old that is turning into a teenager who doesn't accept the word no. Um, uh, Sent the photos on Telegram. That is my evening sorted once we're done here. That is amazing. Um, yeah, I mean, there's also this disconnect, right? Like, we had a conversation here, um, Little asked for something and we both said yes. Um, and then kind of looked at each other and went, I would never have got away with that when I was a kid. Never. I would have had a hiding. Or, I would have been petrified to go downstairs after even asking. Um, so, standards and parenting styles change, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, gentle parenting is far better, than and being aware and approaching things with kindness and compassion. Like, in terms of kids, they have the same flow of chemicals in their body as we do, as in same volume, which is why they have meltdowns and why they have these really big feelings is because, their bodies are so tiny and they don't have the life experience to know how to deal with that. Um, and, you know, I think it's really easy to judge things by our standards. So, you know, it was really easy for me to look at other people's kids and go, "Ah, if I had acted that way, I would have had a hiding. I would have been grounded for a month and my parents would have stuck to it." Um, but also, my parents were passing on the trauma that they had from their parents. Um, you know, we're now stopping that cycle and certainly over here, I don't know what it's like in the States other than my friends over there that have kids, but we're all trying to do it differently because 80s parenting was not overly safe. Um, hey Zayden. Um, I would have said that the newer generations have an uphill battle because of all of the distractions that are available to them that the older generations didn't have available. Yeah. I mean, you think about teenagers now. When I was a teenager, we were going through a bunch of stuff and, all of those hormones and horrible stuff and peer pressure and, you know, teenage girls are horrible to each other. Um, Well, kids these days are still going through all of that. Young adults are going through all of that, but they also have social media and the ability to bully someone 24 hours a day. And I think they're actually coping pretty well, generally speaking. There's always going to be exceptions to that rule. Um, oh, that is adorable, Loopy. As a kid, the streetlights came on. Can I please stay out and play kickball and catching fireflies for 10 more minutes? That sounds like the idyllic childhood to me. That was not a thing in my house. Um, mm, uh, and what you're saying about having a tea party seems like that's becoming the exception instead of the norm. Maybe. maybe. I mean, certainly the parents, of, my eldest's peers at school all do stuff like that with their kids. But I think now we're getting into demographics, age groups, area of the country, the culture associated with that area of the country. We're pretty rural here. We've got access to a lot of things to do, but um, like this evening, we sat down and watched some films together before the kids went to bed. Um, and like I can't imagine not doing that. Um, that was about our undead pirate. Yvonne agrees with Zayden. Um, I think there's a balance with gentle parenting and teaching consequences. It's a fine line because if you go too far one way or the other, yeah, I mean, it is a hard balance, and as a parent, I know I'm gonna make mistakes, and the best thing I can do when I make mistakes, when I lose my temper or whatever else, when I sit down and talk with my kid about it, is also apologize. If I'm expecting her to apologize to me for her behavior, I need to apologize for mine, and, we do have consequences, um, you know, and she's lost privileges. Um, there are certain things we won't allow her to watch because when she watches them, she gets an attitude. Um, but there is a balance, and we're not always going to get it right because we're all work in progress. I've never been a parent of a 4 and a 5-year-old before. I am not going to get it right because I have no life experience to fall back on. Um, and I think being able to admit that openly and show other parents that that's the case is really important. Video games was more of a thing for rainy days and when you couldn't play outside, not 24/7. Yeah, absolutely. Um, um, yeah, it's hard. It is hard getting that balance, and it is hard. Screen time was not something like we didn't have that. We watched cartoons. When I say cartoons, it was manga on a Saturday morning because that was what was on TV. Um, not in the UK when we lived abroad. Until mum and dad got up, and then the TV went off and we went outside. Um, uh, when we came back to England, occasionally we could watch The Simpsons, but only if mum had caught the news during the day rather than turning over. But yeah, screen time wasn't a thing. Um, even even when we had a TV in our bedroom or a computer in our bedroom, like, it wasn't just taken for granted because it was back in the 1800s when green sleeves was number one. And I got my first computer. It was a real privilege, and I knew it was a real privilege. Um, um, After the age of 4, I wasn't allowed to play video games until Friday, and only if I got 5 gold stars through the week. Yeah, I mean, you know, for us, we weren't allowed to do anything that we wanted to do unless our chores were done. Um, mm, I mostly kept that rule until I was 16 and had bought my first PlayStation. That's cool. If only more families would still set those types of rules. See, we chose not to put limits on screen time. We wanted them to learn, that they could just put it down and go and play and pick it up a little bit later. And that's actually what they do. They're really good at kind of, or they'll put it on, they'll put their tablet on and put it up on a shelf while they're playing with other things. Um, mm, mm, mm. Um, we wanted them to have a responsibility, and when we said that's enough, um, you know, like if we had to step in and say that's enough, um, then that's enough. It's got a little bit out of control because it's summer holidays at the moment, um, and our eldest is she's going through a phase of kind of going, hang on a minute, this isn't fair. Why is younger sister getting one thing and I'm getting another? And it's not really that they're getting two different things. It's just younger sister is getting what she had a year ago when she was 4. Um, so yeah, it's really difficult. Um, sorry, I'm just checking to make sure I haven't missed any more. For context, I had no time limit on video games until I threw a tantrum, started crying over the fact that I couldn't get past an enemy character on a game I was playing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we do have the odd tantrum over that kind of stuff. But again, it's big feelings, little body. Um, but yeah, timeouts happen. We have timeouts. We take away privileges. Like, we take away things that are a privilege and are linked to the bad behavior. We don't just, randomly threaten stuff because threats don't work. Because kids can't associate them. Sorry, just checking other tabs. There's too much going on. Oh, which reminds me, Zayden, if you are still around, my bot timers aren't working and I don't know why. Like, they're enabled, but they're not doing the thing. And I'm hoping you can help work that one out. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right tab. I have too much going on. Nope, not that one. Is it this one? Yes, good. Watching TV, I wasn't restricted. We just had other things that we would do, like reading books or playing outside. Yeah. Yeah. And again, most of the time, what the kids are doing on their tablet is either an educational game or they're watching something. And they both love the educational games. So I'm not going to limit time when they're learning. I really like that. And also they both really love David Attenborough. So I am not going to stop them watching Sir David. He's an amazing man. He is an international treasure who is never allowed to pass on. Oh, you didn't have a time limit. You and mum would play them together. That is really nice. Your mum is really cool. Can you be my mum too? You're not old enough to be my mum. Yeah. The sibling rivalry, right? Was there not? Oh. We had, a lot of our the kids' programming was, like, you'd have a cartoon followed by some kind of educational content, followed by another cartoon. It was interspersed. Things like Blue Peter and, Art Attack, and stuff like that. Sounds like the timers for the chatbots didn't enable in Stream Elements. Might have to log into Stream Elements to have a closer look. What, you log into Stream Elements or me? Because I'm logged in. But yeah, it's basically it's been every stream but one that they haven't worked on because apparently, or I'm just useless. I mean, it's probably me. It is probably me. We've got a bit off topic, haven't we? Talking about kids' content and stuff. See, again, with podcasts and things like that, I would be quite happy for the kids to be listening to a podcast that had some kind of educational content to it. But yeah, I mean, they love learning. My oldest is really into art, and maths at the moment. Apparently, she's really good at maths. I don't know where she's got that from. I really don't. And the youngest loves maths and music. So an awful lot of what we do revolve around that. Like the youngest has a drum kit. And she often asks for music to be put on. We use YouTube for music, so that she can copy what the drummer is doing. And she loves it. That's so odd. Loopy just said that YouTube live chat is being random for some reason. Yeah, it is. Like, some messages are essentially bouncing back and we're getting error messages. Others just they're being posted for the person who posts them, but not for other people in the chat. It's very weird. Only Sesame Street. I mean, there was Mr. Rogers, but that was only very short amount of time. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we had things like Play School, which was originally Australian, and we had an English version. But even now, all of our kids' content, like the vast majority of it, is educational. Like, even the puppet stuff. So they've brought back the clangers, and getting loads of notifications. I don't go away. Stop spamming my screen. Yeah, even the clangers is about interaction, is about how to communicate with each other, which is really weird for characters that don't speak. Shaun the Sheep. Shaun the Sheep is hilarious non-verbal communication, and like Litland really loves it. So, stop spamming me with notifications, computer. I don't want you. Go away. Because I can't see the chat. Stop spamming. It's just literally sliding across my screen. Inspector Jack and Zelmo strolling down Sesame Street. We've just been completely derailed now. My new subscribers are just going to look at this and go, what? This isn't what I signed up for. I'm sorry. I did put the warning at the beginning of this live that things can get surreal. I still think that it should be, sorry, I've now got another warning. I still think it should be, a 50s, 60s detective series with Detective Jack and Selmo. They only have one client, which is Auntie Giggles, but it's repeat business, and it's always a missing or suspicious death, that she's hiring them for, and it's always her husband, just every week. Um, it is still really good, and they're still making episodes. It's on Netflix. They've made several films. Farmageddon is brilliant. But they also did a Christmas one, The Flight Before Christmas, that came out last year. Just brilliant. Aardman animation is fantastic. Oh, Fireman Sam is terrible. All of the fires, all of the accidents that need the fire and rescue is one kid. One kid continuously effing up. And it's terrible. There are several programs that are really bad influences. Peppa Pig is awful for teaching kids bad lessons. Fireman Sam is another one. It's just no, neither of them. Yeah, Naughty Norman. Yeah, neither of those shows get played in this house. Um, yeah. No worries, Loopy. You do what you need to do. Suits and Lincoln Lawyer. I've not heard of Lincoln Lawyer. Trying to think what other legal, like The West Wing goes into the legalities of politics and kind of laws and what they can and can't do. And I really, that's how I got into American politics and laws, was through that, and I've been obsessed ever since. I cannot stand hold music. It sets off the PTSD so badly. And it's even worse when you have to phone like a government agency or your doctor or someone like that, and you're already phoning in a heightened sense of kind of panic, and then hold music comes on and you start getting flashbacks and stuff. It's awful. I'm glad it's lovely. I hope it is actually lovely, and that's not sarcasm. Yeah, hold music can get in the bin. For definite. So I'm gonna share my links again, since Stream Elements is still not doing its thing. So this is the new podcast. There's 3 episodes up. One is an episode that was actually published on my YouTube channel. Oh, I'm now getting the error again. An error has occurred on YouTube. This is usually temporary. Error. It just bugs me. So I will copy and paste. My stuff. Yeah, Scream Elements is basically what it makes me want to do, because it's not working. So here are some other ways you can connect. You can send a tip if you can afford to, and it is something you want to do. There is no obligation. Stupid computer. You can become a subscriber if you want to. You get some exclusive content over on Spotify, as well as chances to suggest content for both Spotify and here. Get your idea spoken about on a live or as part of a podcast or a standard video. It's $2.99 a month. And it really goes a long way to helping me. That is the only way to get monetized right now, other than tips. It is the only way for me to bring money in to what I'm doing here. Spotify currently don't pay UK podcasters for ad revenue. They do in pretty much every other country. Come on, Spotify. But subscribers is the only way to make money right now. I'm working on it. My fault. I've panicked myself because I've worked out how much it's costing me to run the channel, and a few of you know all about this. And there are things I'd like to do, like which way? That way. It's really confusing me having the camera the right way around. So I want to get rid of this, but that's 20 quid a month to get rid of that and have my own logo up there. The paid version of vidIQ is £9 a month, and there was something else, storage. It adds up, and that's without me saving up for a better streaming setup, so that hopefully I don't get as many blanks as I'm getting at the moment. So yes, spread the word. And if you do listen or watch, because some of my stuff on Spotify is video, do rate and review, because that makes a big difference to the algorithm over there. Scream Elements, the screaming service preferred by 9 out of 10 metalheads. Yeah, I like it. I like it. There should be a band named Scream Elements. There has to be. There has to be. Perhaps it's the Monsters Inc. and it harvests your scream. Maybe they've worked out that laughter and frustration both give you really good energy to harvest screams. Yeah, Lincoln Lawyer series off of the Matthew McConaughey movie several years back. Now I'm going to have to look that one up. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, that's a new one to me, so I'm going to have to look at that. Is there any topic you would like to talk about while we're all together? Is there anything coming up? Is anyone doing any live streams or releasing any videos that we should mention? Everyone needs to check out a couple of dingoes. The Gorsh games. I need to get these queued up rather than searching for them. Well, actually, I have mods in the stream, would you guys be able to um after you said error, hold on. Yeah, would you all help out by pimping? No, it's the wrong word. By adding everyone's links into the chat if you are still there. So Zaydin, Loopy Miracle, Paradingos, couple of dingoes. I always do that. I'm so sorry. Brickable Hours, PC Tech, Reality Review, all of those. Bringing back around, I think that it can be a bad thing if at a too young of an age that binging is made the normal, because it can instill the idea of that being the norm. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm 100% with you. A couple of dingoes. I am so sorry. The first time I said it, it came out right. But my brain always, it's one of those names that for whatever reason, my brain goes, no, you're going to get it wrong. You're going to get it wrong. You're going to get it wrong. And then I get it wrong. I think Zayden and Gina are busy, so I'm going to find all of the links. When I can get Stream Elements working, I'm going to add that. I can't type. Oh, for goodness sake. Honestly. So we have, if you are not already subscribed, please go and check out these channels. A couple of dingoes, it's gaming and reviews, also the Potato Chronicles, which I am really enjoying. I think it's just brilliant. Yeah, the Potato Chronicles is just hilarious. Oh my God, my laptop is not happy with all of the things. Error. Yeah, and YouTube is having a moment today. Really is. Sorry, I'm just finding all of the links. Brickable Hours is putting out so many videos at the moment. David is working his butt off and doing an amazing job. His builds are awesome. So do go and show him some love over there, because it's definitely worth it. There's something very soothing about watching someone put together Lego. Why is this not coming up? Um, there we go. I don't know why that wasn't coming up. That was so we have Sadin for fun and shenanigans. Thank you very much, Steve. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. Thank you very much, Sadin. That is fantastic. On the Potato Chronicles, I am trying to do a David Attenborough. Do you know, even though you haven't got the English accent, it comes across that is exactly what you. Honestly, I don't know what is going on with my tech today or with me. Apparently, I have less of an idea of what I'm doing than normal, and that's saying something. All of those links in the comments. That's I think everyone in our little network of small YouTubers, please go and check the channels out. Watch some of the videos, hit like and subscribe because they're all really good people. They were all really good people that really deserve those, subs and hugs. I don't think I'm successful at it, but it does have a nature document. Yeah, absolutely. What I was saying before I was so rudely muted, was although you haven't got the English accent, it really comes across that is what you're doing. And the nice thing about the David Attenborough kind of vibe is it's about the vibe. It's not about getting it spot on. It is the vibe. Can you hear me now? Or are these kind of slightly late because of issues? Because everything my end says it's working. Probably isn't. Yay! Oh, FML. I try so hard. Try so hard, and it always goes to pot. Every week. Every week. Now my dog is barking outside. Honestly. So, is there anything else you all would like to add to the discussion before we close off for the evening? Don't forget, for those of you that have subscribed to Spotify or have followed on Spotify, I should say, do give the episodes a listen. A couple of them are repeats for what I've done here to start me off. So there's some content for people to look at. But it's all based on views and ratings, and you can't rate without view or not views, listens, but you can't rate without listening, and which is fair enough, actually. So that you can't just get your 100 mates to help you out. I was originally going to do Jacques Cousteau. I love Jacques Cousteau. Points if you get the reference. Yeah. No, I think the David Attenborough thing works. I really do. I really do, especially with the way you say potato. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch anything. Oh, hold on. Thank you so much. What for? Yeah, I know. I don't know what is going on. Like, there's obviously some sort of issue my end because my microphone and camera keep going off. But there's also issues with YouTube. And that I've got nothing loose. Everything is you know. Grr. Um. Sadly, I think the computer is trying to tell you to end. Yeah, I think it is too, and that makes me sad. Thank you all for being here. Um, Thank you for the support and for helping out. Thank you to my lovely mods, Loopy and Zaydin. I really appreciate you all being here. I am nothing without you. At some stage, I will add one or two more mods so that there's a cycle. Mainly because I'm useless at that kind of thing, and I need help. And there is nothing wrong with saying you need help. This is not my strong suit, and I want to learn. And I'm learning by doing, but it's a slow process. And I think, having more experienced YouTubers come in and mod makes a big difference. Because it means that I can ask them, how do I do stuff? Glad we got to catch up for a bit. Yeah, I know. It feels like a very long time between us all hanging out. Are you in a position to do a live tomorrow, Zayden and Gina, or are you still dealing with other things? There is no pressure, but being able to advertise while I'm here, one way or the other would be good. But thank you to Joe, Yvonne Hates Injustice, Steve. Who else have we had? Ida Think So. Ida Think So's work colleague. who is now signed up. We really appreciate I really appreciate you. You know, honestly, I would be nowhere without you. I'd just be an idiot with a camera talking to myself. Yes, please hit that like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications for videos and things. I had a video go live this evening. For those of you who aren't into true crime, don't worry about it. But for those of you that are interested, I did a deep dive into the family life of Rex Howerman, the suspected Gilgo Beach killer. Today, they announced that they have identified, sadly, identified another person. They aren't charging him as yet, probably because they're running more forensic tests, probably DNA and other bits and pieces like that. But I did a bit of a dive into his life and family. For those of you that are interested, not sure if we'll get to stream again yet. Prayers something works out physically and financially to be able to stream to the Gorsh gang. Oh, that, yeah, fingers crossed. Something changes for you. We are sending so much love to all of you. Desperately hoping. Mm, mm, hold on. And one last thing. I'm going to paste here the Gorsh Games details. You can. Did that paste well? That did not paste well. Hold on. Let's do that again. I'm gonna ban user. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Hold on. So you can send a Cash App. This is the first one. You can PayPal, paypal.com. That's Sadin's PayPal. You can send a tip through Stream Elements. And you can become a Patreon member for the Gorsh Games and what they do over there. If you were thinking of tipping me or becoming a subscriber on my Spotify, please use those links and send some money to Zayden and Gina instead, so that they can get themselves back up and running. We missed the Gorsh Games, and that's not me trying to make you feel guilty, but we miss you. We miss your kindness and compassion and the fun that we have. I know I don't need to do that. No one's asked me to do that, Loopy. But I would far rather get you guys up and running, and help pay for, help getting your channel paying for itself. Right now, that's more important to me. So yeah, if you were thinking of sending a tip or, signing up for anything that I do, head on over to those links, and help the Gorsh Games and Loopy Miracle on their YouTube journey instead, please. Right now, now I have bombarded everyone with links, and everyone is very bored of my voice. But before my laptop gives up, I want to thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you, and everything that you bring to the community. You are what makes this, basically. You make all of our channels better for being here and being part of it. And I think I can speak for all of us to say that we do appreciate you. So go and visit all of those channels, watch some videos, throw around some thumbs, um, throw around some thumbs, and give some love to our little community. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you soon.